The likelihood for Iran to ultimately move toward nuclear weapons is significantly higher than before. If North Korea stepped in to offer help to Iran, I think it would take a significantly shorter time for Iran to actually acquire a nuclear weapon.
Iran has long walked a careful line. Not a nuclear power, but not far from one either.
And it seemed to have had a strategy of not wanting to build a nuclear weapon, but to have that capability to go that way and to use that possibility as leverage.
However, after last year's 12-day Israel-Iran war, with U.S. attacks on Iran facilities, and the current Iran war under a fragile ceasefire, Iran could be pushed into a more dangerous nuclear phase.
I believe the likelihood for Iran to ultimately move toward nuclear weapons is significantly higher than before. I think this is driven by two reasons. The first is a distrust. A growing distrust, because Iran in the recent history has been backstabbed by US for 3 times at least. So the first time is 2018, so the United States unilaterally withdrew from the JCPOA, and then last June the US and Israel attacked Iran while negotiation was still going on, and this time again. And the other reason is the rise of the hardliners. So the recent cycle of the assassinations, mainly by Israel, and the wartime losses appears to have further weakened figures more open to engagement with the West, those like soft liners. And also this strengthened the influence of the IRGC and the other hardliners within the Iranian government, including the new supreme leader Mujtaba. And that was recently also reported that the hardliners are increasingly discussing about the possibility of owning actual nuclear weapons.
But even if Iran wanted to acquire nuclear weapons tomorrow, how could it do so? First, it could try to build them on its own, either a dirty bomb or a traditional one.
A dirty bomb is not a nuclear weapon in traditional sense, but it indeed has the nuclear elements within it. And for that, I think Iran can immediately produce, manufacture, and develop that. And the other sub-scenario is the nuclear weapon in traditional sense. So although Iran has demonstrated missile capabilities, as we have seen in this round of the conflict, but the more difficult challenge is still the producing enough weapons-grade material and then turning that into a workable nuclear device and eventually a reliable, deliverable warhead. The other thing is that we have lost the access to the actual development of Iran's nuclear program since last June. So it could be very soon for them, like within months or still at least a year.
The second scenario is that it could get help from abroad, like North Korea.
In last June, Russia has hinted that some nuclear weapon states could offer assistance to Iran. And this country, for my analysis, I think could be only possibly be North Korea. So although I think this is a much less likely scenario, but if North Korea stepped in to offer help to Iran, I think it would take a significantly shorter time for Iran to actually acquire a nuclear weapon.
If Iran builds up again and reaches or even crosses the nuclear threshold, will other countries follow?
I think a regional nuclear domino effect would not necessarily be automatic. The first reason is that obviously they would face intense pressure from global non-proliferation regime and the UN Security Council, which also happens to be the 5 legitimate nuclear weapon states. The second reason is that there will be immediate exposure to Israeli deterrence and a possible preemptive attack, as we have seen in the history. And the third reason is it still takes much longer time, much more technical efforts for them to actually own a nuclear weapon and also to do the uranium enrichment.
How can the Middle Eastern countries protect themselves?
I think especially for Arabic countries, the tighter security ties with outside powers, like stronger missile defense and civil nuclear hedging would be more likely, and especially in light of Saudi Arabia's recent mutual defense treaty with Pakistan, because Pakistan is a de facto nuclear weapon state, so that could be the potential platform for the regional countries, especially Gulf countries, to consider to join this mutual defense treaty or even cling towards each other to centralize their efforts for hedging and also for self-defense around, say, the Gulf Cooperation Council.